So diseases are a path to personal growth, and reversing disease requires a shift in consciousness. So this is just a cartoon, but it's actually partially true. The top prescription is for your arthritis, but it may cause heart attack. The second prescription should prevent the heart attack, but it could damage your liver. The third should prevent liver trouble, but it may destroy your spleen. And the fourth protects the spleen, and so on and so forth. This is true. And this is why the 21-day program works so beautifully. Because as you remove one medicine, the next medicine is ready to remove, and the next one and the next one. And a person who came in on 16 medicines can be down to 4 in just 21 days. And the other 4 will go in the next 5 months or 7 months. So what are the bad effects of medicines? First of all, the side effects. Today I am seeing a lot of diabetics who take metformin, the simplest medicine for diabetes. And this causes fatty liver, another problem. They keep us unaware of the depth of the problem. We have diabetes, we take a medicine. After a while we go back to the doctor and the doctor changes the medicine. And we don't know why the doctor changed the medicine. But the doctor has changed the medicine to give you a more powerful medicine because the first medicine didn't work. And we go back to the doctor the next year and get still more powerful medicine or one more added on top. That means we are unaware of how severe our diabetes is until we land up with complications of diabetes and get worse and worse and worse. And then the hospitals are full. And then they become 5-star hotels too. And medicines cause new diseases. For example, statins cause diabetes. And I've seen that taking statins off the prescription list already helps the blood sugar to go down. They distract from healing. For example, if you get a backache and you take painkillers, you will be able to move. You will be able to keep doing certain movements which are harmful for your back. And so you might end up with chronic backache. But if you never took a painkiller, then you will stop doing those movements, your back has a chance to heal, and you will get well. Medicines are tested on animals. And animals' anatomy is not the same as ours. So what the pharmaceutical companies do, they test the medicines on animals, and if it works on animals, they say, come on, let's do it on human beings now. But if it doesn't work, they say, animals are not like human beings, let's test it on human beings anyway. And so we have a lot of drugs which come on the market, cause severe side effects, and then go off the market. Like, for example, the thalidomides. It's an older example where people actually got, pregnant women were given thalidomides, and their newborns were born with deformities because of the thalidomides. So we've talked about 4. One is the vitamins, the second is stress, the third is the chemicals, the fourth is medicines, and the fifth is us. We are the cause of our disease. It's myths that we have about health and food. So let's look at some of these myths. Brushing teeth. Dentists are good for teeth. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't brush our teeth, but if you were to look at the ingredients of your toothpaste, would you ever put it in your mouth? Would you ever force your kids to put it in their mouth? And kids instinctively run away from the toothbrush till we force them to do it and then make them sick. Now, did you know that teeth are bones? You see here, this is a skeleton. Teeth are bones. Teeth are slightly different from bones in that they have enamel, but they are actually bones. Now, we all know that bones heal. if you get a fracture, then the doctor puts the bones together so that they cannot rub against each other, cannot move in a plaster. And if we don't move this, fracture heals. Whether you take medicines or painkillers or inflammatories or not, the fracture will heal. Yet, teeth are bones, but if we get a cavity, what do? We go to the dentist who drills, makes the hole bigger and fills. That means if teeth are bones and bones can heal, if given the right conditions, why don't we give the right conditions to the teeth? And that's what I do. I teach people how to reverse their diseases, how to close their cavities. Even if the enamel doesn't come back, their teeth can become normal again if we don't interfere. But we have to put the conditions right by changing our lifestyle. You know, when I was in college, we had skeletons like this with all their teeth there. Can you find anyone like this now? How many of us have all our teeth? Right? Okay. Now we have a myth. When you have osteoporosis, you should take calcium. How many of you know somebody with osteoporosis? Okay. Did they ever get better by taking calcium tablets? Hundreds and thousands of people take calcium tablets for osteoporosis and they never get better. Yet, we keep giving the same medicine instead of understanding what is the cause of osteoporosis and removing the cause. So we teach people how to understand the cause of disease and how to remove it. We think that we need milk for calcium, yet all the people with osteoporosis were taking milk all their lives and yet they got osteoporosis. In fact, the countries with the highest incidence of osteoporosis are the countries with the highest consumption of dairy. So all this is wrong, yet it serves a purpose because the milk companies have brainwashed us that we need milk for calcium and so we keep buying that product. Now I just want to show you a chart of the amount of calcium in different kinds of foods. And you can see that human breast milk has 33 milligrams per 100 grams of calcium, which means when a baby is born, it can grow its teeth and bones with human milk just 33 milligrams per 100 grams. All green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds have more calcium than human milk. Even potato chips have more calcium than human milk. And cow's milk has more calcium than human milk. But sesame seeds have 10 times more calcium than cow's milk. And nobody talks about them. So we can have, you know, tal papdi or whatever you're having, or sesame butter, tahini, and get all the calcium we need, but we don't even have to resort to that. If we're having green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds, we have enough calcium, which is why nobody gets better by taking calcium tablets. Because the cause of the problem is never lack of calcium. In fact, taking calcium tablets can land us up with stones in the kidneys and calcification of our arteries and then heart attacks. So foods which are rich in calcium, you know, all green leafy vegetables and nuts and seeds. Now one more myth, more protein is better. Have you heard that one? I see people going to the gym these days and they want to have more and more protein. Without thinking, how many people do you know with protein deficiency? How many of you know somebody with protein deficiency? Put your hands up. One person, there's always one person in the audience. So can you tell me what are the symptoms of protein deficiency? And whom do you know with protein deficiency? Can you come up here because I can't hear you? Right. You know, lots of people are mistakenly asked to take eggs and milk and whey protein and so on. But honestly, protein deficiency does not even occur when your stomach is full. So we have the idea that animal products are the best sources of protein. That's what doctors tell us. I'll be answering questions later. But we don't even know why we need proteins. Does anyone know why we need proteins? Muscle building is what we've heard because that's what the gym trainers tell us, right? Protein is the food for growth and repair. It's a food for growth and repair. And so only if we want to grow should we take more protein, or if we need a lot of repair, we should think about where do the horses, cows, elephants, and all the other herbivores get their protein from. In fact, protein deficiency does not even exist until there's starvation. Protein deficiency is called kwashiorkor, and it occurs only in starvation. Today we have diseases of protein excess. Protein is a food for growth. Cancer is a growth. Protein excess causes osteoporosis, acidity, gout, and kidney disease. Animal protein is toxic for the kidneys. Today we have more and more people on dialysis or kidney transplants than ever before because we're having more animal protein than ever before. So who started this myth about protein? Can anyone say? The companies who want to sell, the dairy company and the egg company. Have you seen the ads, Roj Khao Anda, Sunday ya Monday, Roj Khao Ande? Okay. So now I'll tell you a trick. How to know what to eat and what not to eat. Make a list of everything that's advertised and don't eat that. Will anyone spend good money trying to brainwash you into something which you already know? Have you seen advertisements for carrots and cucumbers or apples and oranges? Right? Whatever we don't need is going to be advertised. Now, another myth. Human beings are omnivores. Could we ever kill an animal with our teeth and our claws? Let's get serious, right? We are actually necrovores. We are the only animals and some scavengers who eat dead animals that someone else has killed. No animal in nature does it. And if you look at the teeth of a carnivore, and look at the teeth of a herbivore, and look at the teeth of an omnivore, a real omnivore, and then look at your own teeth, it becomes very clear that we are not omnivores. We only think we are because somebody wants to sell us certain products. And if we look at our instincts, imagine if you're on a farm or an orchard and you see fruits and vegetables hanging, you instinctively feel like picking and eating. But if you see a chicken walk by or a goat or even a cow with udders, does your mouth water? Right? But manufacturers know this. So when they make soaps and shampoos and body care products, they will smell of fruits and flowers, never of beef and chicken. Now, one more myth. Milk is a complete food. Yes, it is. But cow's milk is a complete food for the calf. And we are not calves. So every mammal makes milk only for their young, and it's the same for calves. Cows. You know, if I were to go to kindergarten and ask the children, dog's milk is for, what will they say? Puppies. And cat's milk is for? And cow's milk is for? Right? But we have been brainwashed by a company that wants to sell dairy, and the biggest one is in Gujarat. Okay. And we can lose weight by dieting. Have you heard that let's go on a diet, we'll lose weight? How many of you have even tried a diet? Right? Does it work? The reason a diet doesn't work is because it's not sustainable. Right? No point doing unsustainable things in our lives. But we should see that every animal in nature eats as much as he wants and is never overweight. Last year I went to Kenya to do some seminars, and I had the luck to go to Masai Mara, and there are thousands of deer and zebras, and yet no lion was overweight. There's lots of grass, and yet no zebra was overweight. So why is it only us? Right? And then we have the myth that packaged foods are good and hygienic. And what the reality is that packaged foods don't get destroyed by bacteria for a long time. Now if bacteria cannot digest them, how will we? Right? So what they say, once on the lips, forever on the hips, right? Okay. So what is the best way to heal? Now we've seen the 5 myths, and the biggest myth is ourselves. The 5 causes, and the biggest cause is ourselves. It's our myths. It's because we haven't thought about what we're doing. And the reason we haven't thought is because we're disconnected. We're not living in nature anymore. If we went to a farm, we would immediately know what we should eat and what we should not eat. If we were watching animals, they would teach us how to heal ourselves. So what is the best way to heal? First, we have to understand that the body is a perfect machine. The computer can break down and maybe cannot be repaired, but the body knows how to heal itself. Every animal knows how to heal itself. So what do we need? We need to put the correct fuel in our body. Imagine if you have a car that runs on petrol and you put diesel, will it work? So if we have a body that runs on certain foods and then we put all kinds of other things in, how will we be healthy? Right? So correct fuel and the best spare parts. That means even if we choose the correct fuel, say we're eating fruits and vegetables, we want to eat the best fruits and vegetables available, the ones with the highest nutrition, the organic, the real, the ones that grew the way God expected them to grow. So the best fuel for the body is fruits, vegetables, beans, seeds, nuts, and maybe grains. But I've started with fruits. Why did I start with fruits? Because if you were to go to a farm or an orchard, and if you were to see fruits and vegetables hanging, which will you pick? Seedha, right? So we need to think, what is the best food for us? And start with that. And I know many people who don't even have a fruit a day. Isn't it true? So it's not meat and fish and chicken and milk and eggs, because when you see these things in the whole form, our mouth doesn't water. So what Sharan does is Sharan helps people reconnect with their own instincts and nature's laws so that healing can happen effortlessly. Effortlessly means it's sustainable. If you start doing this, it can be done for the rest of your life while enjoying good food, because that's what we were meant to do. And we have a simple 5-point plan to start, which is sustainable to make the journey enjoyable. So what we do is, all the food should be plant-based. That means we take out the dairy products and the non-veg. By milk, I mean milk, cheese, paneer, ice cream, curds, buttermilk, whatever is made from milk, even biscuits. Today, you know, even the potato chips have milk powder in it. And that's because milk is addictive. If I tell you no more milk, and milk means milk, cheese, butter, cream, paneer, ice cream, curds, buttermilk, how do you feel? Tell me, how do you feel? Sad, deprived. How am I going to do it? Right? If I were to tell you, from tomorrow no more carrots, how do you feel? Okay, I'll have pumpkin, peas, whatever instead, right? Can you see the difference? Milk is addictive. But when we are born, when a child is first given cow's milk, does the child ever say yum? No. The child says poo. And mothers put sugar and cocoa and chase their kids to put the milk down the throat. Because every child knows they are not a calf. But we have the myth that milk is good for them. So everything should be plant-based. Everything should be whole. The maximum nutrition is just under the skin. Have you ever eaten brown rice? Anyone here has eaten whole rice, brown rice? So when you eat whole rice, how much do you eat compared to white rice? Less. How much less? Half. Can you imagine that just taking off the skin makes you eat double? Right? What do we peel? We peel the rice, we peel the wheat to make maida. We peel vegetables. All the vegetables are peeled. But the maximum nutrition has just been thrown out. And even if they are non-organic vegetables, the pesticide goes right to the center, just as when we put a cream, it goes right inside our body. So whether you are peeling your vegetables or not, you're consuming the pesticide anyway, but you've lost the nutrition. So, you know, we are refining so many things. We make oil, we make sugar. These are all refined products. There's no nutrition in oil. There's no nutrition in sugar. So if we can get back to eating whole, the way God designed us to eat, and then organic, and looking after vitamin B12 and vitamin D, this is our 5-point plan for complete health. And what we do is actually explain how to do it, how to reduce the medicines, how to cook without oil, how to make delicious desserts without sugar, etc., etc. And the benefits: complete health. That means you can do whatever you want, whatever your body was designed for, without worrying about whether you will be able to do it or not. Also, it's good for the environment. Today we are facing climate change, and the reason we're facing climate change is because we've changed our lifestyle. And of course, we do better for the animals. And we'd also save people from starvation, deforestation. We would increase the biodiversity, because right now we're killing all other animals so that we can increase cows, chickens, and other animals that we eat. So I want to stop with one short video. I know I've overpassed the time. Can I show you a 2-minute video and then end? So I want to say, why vegan? So the word vegan only means consuming no animal products at all. And at Sharan we teach you how to make things without milk, how to make doodh pak without milk, or how to make gajar halwa or peda, whatever you want to make, or curds or buttermilk, everything can be done without using cow's milk, and it can be even more delicious. And you're so lucky that here in Ahmedabad, you have right now 2 completely vegan restaurants called Philosophy Club. So you can look up on the internet Philosophy Club, and I have some cards of them, and you will see that the food is absolutely delicious. And that they're using all kinds of cheeses, but never made from cow's milk. So we can convert this into reality, and actually we have a cooking class coming up next week. So before I end, I want to thank AMA and all of you, because I think you're the best place I've ever given a free talk. So well organized and up to perfection. That's why I come to Ahmedabad again and again. So I thank you for that. And I want to thank my friend Shefali, who organized it for me in AMA. And I want to thank my friend Mukti Mashruwala. Shefali Chandrani is back there. And I want to thank my friend Mukti Mashruwala, because she helped me, organize a few things over here, and she's organizing the cooking class. And I want to thank my friend Dr. Munjal Thakkar, who sent 4 of his volunteers for registration, and their registration page is up there. So if you put your name, email address and phone number there, then you will hear from us whenever there are programs in Ahmedabad, and you can get onto the fast track of health. So that's basically it from me. You have my email address here and the website, and I open now for questions. If you would like to ask a question, would you please come up here so that everybody could hear, or, okay, I'll try to repeat. So first person back there, you, the lady in the yellow.
Hi, good evening all. My question is, what's your take on oils and ghees? We have myths about those, and we keep hearing different opinions all the time.
Right. So in Sharan, we actually teach you how to cook everything without oil and ghee, because oil and ghee has no nutritive value, and we even show you how to make pakoras and puris without oil and ghee. So we have all the delicious food we can imagine, but without the bad nutrients in them. One sec. We'll ask the questions one at a time. Huh? Please just come to the mic for the questions.
Yeah, my question is that, ma'am, many a time is currently in this, a lot of adults and a lot of people are suffering from disease of depressions, and also from a lot of stress and overthinking, and also not having a clear picture. While what happens that people tend to go to the more places of taking more tea, more coffee, and then try to think and then try to juggle with the mind what is right, what is wrong. And many a time people get more confused. They even go for the other bad habits of smoking and alcohol and so many things.
True.
A lot of people
so
consume
how can you overcome this?
Yeah.
And that's what we suggest, that try this 100% for 30 days. That's what we actually help you do in our 21-day program, but you don't need to come to the 21-day program. If you can, sometimes we do fast or badha or whatever. Try this for 30 days, and you will see that the stress levels go down, because so much of the stress that we have comes through the adrenaline in the food, as I explained. You want to ask a question?
So, Dr. Nandira, this is Milan. You know me actually. My question is that we read a lot of articles on internet about benefits of drinking wine and beer, in moderation, of course. And they have like a lot of medical research behind it that, yeah.
Okay, be short. Let's be
So,
short, huh?
is it myth or it's what?
See, would you ever feed wine or beer to a kid? There's a reason we don't feed wine and beer to our children, right? Everybody knows it's not healthy. But remember, has wine and beer been advertised? Yes, it has. There's someone who will benefit if you believe that it's healthy. So please don't believe these things. Think about it. You know, all the knowledge is in our brain. If you ask a question, is wine or beer healthy? Okay, it's healthy, then feed it to your kid. Straight away you'll say no. There's the answer. Yes.
I'm Piyush Vyas. We have one Indian Muscular Dystrophy Society. Doctor,
Right.
you said muscular dystrophy can also be
Actually,
cured.
mus-
Because it's
muscular-
genetic, just a minute, it's a genetic disorder. And we are running this program last almost 20 years. And we have tried our best to see that children are cured, but not at all cured, and that problem continues.
No, I made a mistake by saying muscular dystrophy. Congenital disorders cannot be reversed by changing diet. Thank you for that.
I'm Rajan, and I sell organic food with a vision to sell food.
Oh, that's lovely.
But I have a question that across India, by the way, and I'm mentioned on Sharan also.
Okay.
Yeah, and my question is that people these days sell A2 milk because A1 milk, by researched by many doctors, is harmful. In fact, there is an organization in Australia called A2 Corporation.
Right.
So why A2 and why A2 is also harmful according to you?
Right. So you know what? It will be too long to tell the details, but I'll tell you in real short. A2 milk is the best milk in the world for A2 calves. But we are not that, right? So every mammal produces a perfect milk only for their young, and it's for the growth of their young. So for example, a human being grows to full size in 18 years. A calf grows to full size in 18 months. A cat grows to full size in 9 months. And so does a dog. So the nutrients of dog, cat, cow milk are totally different. And cow's milk, A2 or A1, is no better for us than camel's milk, goat's milk. But the real best milk for us is mother's milk only till we need it. After that, nobody needs any milk. And by the way, all of the Southeast Asian countries, from Japan, China, Thailand, Malaysia, all of these countries have never consumed milk. There's no milk in any of their recipes. And they've lived for generations completely without milk. Yes.
Hi, this is Praveen Patel. What are the recommended brands for B12 and D3 as per
Okay.
your suggestion?
I don't want to recommend brands and also dosages, but you can look under Try Vegan on our website to know more. The reason I don't want to recommend is because I haven't tried all the brands, right? I do believe that they're all good. But these vitamins should be taken under the advice of a doctor, especially vitamin D, because excess vitamin D can also cause problems. Okay?
Hi, my name is Daitani, and my question to you is, after listening to you, you put the pharmaceutical companies, the dairy companies, and the butchery into liquidation, right? So you are sort of taking their business away, which is good in effect because what you've just said. But one thing that I can't understand is the medication. When you said you reduce the dosage or you reduce the medication completely, why isn't this preached to the doctors who are the source of prescribing you with medication? Wouldn't it be nice for you to sort of stand in front of 20 doctors and tell them the good things, what you've just said to us, to preach to their patients?
Okay, so standing in front of a doctor, how many people here are doctors first? Okay, so I really thank you for coming. So standing in front of a group of doctors and telling them not to give medicines is like standing in front of people who going to Anand and telling them not to sell milk, right? It doesn't work. However, I just came from Dubai and I had 4 doctors in my seminar, in my full one-day seminar in Dubai. So there were a lot less people, there were only 60 people, and there were 4 doctors. So these doctors are coming because they know that there's something better. And to be really honest, right now, the whole world runs on money, right? if your patients got well and never came back to you, there might be a question mark in front of you, especially if you're running a hospital like a 5-star hotel, right? So we have to understand that there are many reasons for this.
That was my second question. Is it to do with money? And I think 90% of the time, the doctors won't tell.
Let's not blame the doctors for money, because we are in the same boat too, right?
It's a pharmaceutical.
Whatever, everyone's in, right now our culture is about money, right? It's profits over principles, isn't it true? No matter which sphere we look in.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm also, like, since you mentioned about it, but I think I'm also a great believer of spirituality. Like, our culture is such, and, you know, the way we brought up is such. So, does this program help us to define a spirituality, our own sense, in a better way in terms of eating habits, or in terms of believing about or stress reliever in certain ways?
Okay, so I believe that disease reversal requires a shift in consciousness, which you can say is a spiritual path. And I don't want to say that if you come to our program, you will be spiritually inclined. It will only trigger the process, and you know, spirituality is a path. It cannot be like this, right? So, it depends on where you are in that sphere. But one thing I can tell you, that working this way is a path to personal growth. Spiritual or otherwise, wherever you need to grow, right? From growth from within, yes.
Now one last question again.
Okay.
Hi Nandita, how are you?
Hi.
My name is Kalpesh, and I am the, what you say, I met her first time in Auroville 3 years back, when I had a heavy diabetes. I am on insulin. I was on insulin. I was take her consultations first, 3 hours consultations. I understand about the vegan, what is a vegan, what actually the food. I start changing my food habits. I take 1 day complete program. 1 day complete program in Chennai. We fly from here, from me and my wife to Chennai. We learn how to make vegan food. I change our complete food ingredients and everything. And I think so I'm on medicines, on diabetes, but I'm 90% on vegan, and I changed my complete life. I think so, I'm the most happy person, me and my wife.
Thank you.
And I'm not staying in Ahmedabad. I came all the way from Baroda to Ahmedabad to listen her. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. You wanted to, can he ask one question? Okay.
Please share some information about your village.
You know, best place to understand more about Auroville is to go to the Auroville website, because I don't have time, right? Auroville is an international community. It's more in nature, more connected. It's kind of spiritual. But the only way to know Auroville is to experience it. Yes, it's to be there. Yes.
I'm a parent of a 3-year-old.
Yes.
What I have been taught is in the morning give her milk.
Right. Now, the question is, I'm a parent of a 3-year-old, and I've been taught to give my children milk in the morning. Give the 3-year-old milk in the morning, so what shall I do? Now, we have to understand that milk is a convenience food for moms. You put 1 glass of milk down a kid's throat, you don't have to worry about the kid till lunchtime, right? So what can we do instead? We're having a cooking class, and we'll be teaching how to make green smoothies and other drinks which are equally equally filling and 10 times more nutritious. Okay. So you have organic baby food, but we will give recipes which are made completely from natural things. And you will see that actually when children are on this plan, their grades go up. Because you know, we are supposed to eat food for humans, to grow our brain. We are not supposed to eat food for calves, to grow our body, you know. So nowadays when you go to schools, you see all the kids like this and here. But if you eat the best food, it will be okay? Okay. So I really want to thank you for your patience and interest. And do go to Sharan website. You can learn a lot from Sharan website. You have my email address if there are specific questions. We have consultations which are done on phone and Skype. We have a cooking class in Ahmedabad next week. And the more we do, the more we'll have. So you can go out and meet the people at the desk to know more about the cooking class. There's also a poster put up there. And I'm here for a few minutes longer, so if anyone wants to ask personal questions, maybe I can help you.
On behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association, I sincerely thankful to Nandita Ben for sparing her very valuable time for giving such a nice and informative information to we people. And I sincerely thankful to all audience for hearing very patiently and sparing their time. Good evening with us. I once again thankful to all. Before that, on behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association, I want to present memento to Nandita Ben, please.